everyone, this is Robyn and welcome to mypinkstamper.com. I'm so happy that you're with me today. For today's project, I'm going to be showing you how to recreate one of our projects that's featured in our holiday catalog 2019. It's on page 12. If you have our annual catalog, you can turn to this page. It's also in the description of this YouTube video. You can find the holiday catalog to check out. So I thought I'd recreate this cute Christmas box, and it looks like this. I have one already made. These are the cutest little pizza boxes. You can put cookies or whatever treats you want. They are food safe. And you can also put note cards in here or tags if you want to gift some of your friends, family, neighbors, co-workers with some Christmas tags. This is a really fun little gift. Okay, so here's everything that you need to recreate this project. And I have the item codes as well as the description on my screen. Everything you see can be purchased directly from my shopping page, shopmypinkstamper.com. I made it super easy for you. Okay, so let's start with our stamping first. And we're going to be using 2 ink pads for that. Let me pull out everything as I'm using it just to make it a little bit easier for you. Okay, so I'm starting with 2 pieces of our Whisper white cardstock. This piece here is cut 1 inch by 3 inches, or 2.5. I should double check on that, shouldn't I? Okay, I'll have it on the screen for you, the actual size. And I'm using our Night of Navy ink pad. And what I'm using from the stamp set, I'm using Perfectly Plaid, and the stamps that I'm using from this stamp set are this tree right here, this tree here, and the stump, or the trunk. I don't know why I said stump, the trunk. And then also I'm using Merry Christmas. So right now I'm going to be starting with the Merry Christmas stamp with the Night of Navy ink. And I'm going to stamp this off to the right of this piece of cardstock. And I'll just set that aside. Now I'm going to take which tree? This tree here. And I'm going to be using the shaded spruce ink pad right here. And I'm using that also on the Whisper white. So I'll ink up the tree and I'll stamp it because I'm going to be punching it with the pine tree punch. Now I'm also going to be using the shaded spruce ink with this tree with our shaded spruce cardstock. I'm going to stamp this up a little bit higher, and then I'm going to use the tree trunk and stamp it right there. And now I'm going to punch these out, and I'm using the pine tree coordinating punch. And I'll just punch the tree out first, this one with the trunk. And then I will punch out this tree right here with the punch. And now we will start putting this together. All right. I have here a piece of the, what is the name of this paper? Maybe I have it right in front of me. The Wrapped in Plaid 6x6 paper. This comes in a package of 6x6 sheets of a variety of different designs, and I'll have it on the screen at the same time so you can see it. This is cut 1 inches by, I believe, so this is 3.5. This piece was 2.5. 1 by 2.5, 1 by 3.5. Okay. Now I'm going to be using the triple banner punch right here. And I'm just going to cut this. It's called the triple banner because you can use anything that's 1 inch, 1.5 inch, or 2 inches wide, and you can cut a little banner with it. So I have that banner cut, and I am going to take this here, and I'm going to use our snail adhesive. And I'm going to add this on here, and I'm just going to have it a little bit crooked so it's not completely straight. And while I have that here, I'm going to take our white twine, baker's twine, and I'm just going to wrap this around. I'm going to cut it. I love our twine. I love our linen thread and our white twine. I use those the most. Okay, And this will give me some scraps that I can still use on a project with a little bow or to add something. I am going to tie this in a knot. This is how I do my bows with the twine and the linen thread. Since it's so fine, I just stick my hand down here, my finger, and then I wrap it around, pull it through so I have a nice tight knot. And then I can tie a bow. So I have a knot right here. Now I can just tie a quick little bow. All right, just like this. You can make it smaller, a little bit smaller, tighter. Okay, now I'll just trim that off a little bit and I can set this aside. Or let's see what happens next. I'm gonna go ahead and add my trees. Now, when I look at the picture of the trees, I noticed that this tree was taller and it came down lower and it went up higher, but they're the same size punch. So I figured out that what they did was they just cut this tree in half like this, and they just laid it like this. So it's just a little bit taller. And now I'm going to take some adhesive and put it on top of, or on the back of this piece here. And I don't want it that tall, that much tall, just a little bit. So that's going to be right there. It's coming up right above the Merry Christmas. Make sure your tree is kind of straight. Okay, and now I'm going to add more adhesive. Make sure that I have it in the middle too. And I'm going to add this tree on as well. So this tree just kind of pokes out like that. Now, while I have this tree and this focal image, the main element of this project, I'm going to take some of our red rhinestones and I'm going to add them to the tree. And if you look in the picture, that's what they have on there. I'll have all of the items listed in the description as well at the end of this video, if you'd like to see everything that I used to recreate this card, this project. And I'm going to add one more that's not in the picture. So you can actually kind of change them up a little bit from what you see, make them your own. All right. Now what we're going to do is we are going to do a little die cut work. So I am going to use a piece of our real red cardstock. This is just a scrap. They come in sheets of 8.5 by 11. And I'm using two different sets of framelits. I'm using our Stitched Shapes framelit that have a little stitching. And those coordinate with our layering circles, but they also coordinate with our layering squares and our layering ovals, which is really nice. So I just need both of these on here. So we're using the layering circles as well as the stitched shapes. I'm just going to run that through. I'm almost done with this project. I'm going to pop these out here, save that for my scraps. Now I'm going to add the stitched shape circle on top of the scallop circle. Now, did any of you ever work at pizza place or pizza joints when you were younger? Because I did for quite a few years of my life. I've been a delivery driver, I've worked at the register, I've made the pizza, I've done all the fun stuff. So this is just like doing that. So I'm going to show those of you who may not have had that wonderful opportunity, or maybe some of you have it now. It's kind of fun putting the boxes together. Fold these like this, and now we're going to pull the front part towards you, and it should just latch right in here in those little spots. And then this part closes like this. Isn't it so pretty? I love the gold. We also have Whisper White. So now I have my gold, beautiful pizza box, and I'm going to take this element and I'm going to turn it over, and I will add some dimensionals, some Stampin' dimensionals, which I add on practically every project that I create and I design. I'm just taking off the backs, throwing that in my garbage so they don't land on my floor. And I'm going to add that to the circle. kind of off to the left a little bit, so it's like that. I'm just trying to make it as close to the catalog project as I can for you guys. And I'm going to add dimensionals to the back of this. And this kind of goes a little bit to the right. And so for the finishing touch, what they've done is they've taken our brand new, what are these called? They're Snowflake Sequin, and they're kind of tiny. So I'm going to show you how to add them to your project. This is our Take Your Pick tool, and it has a spatula on it, but it also has, if you pull this out, it has the paper piercer on one end that I use a lot. And then on this side, it has, I think I got that in right, did I? Okay, and on this side, it has the picker up tool that has little putty that picks up small pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking, wherever I put it, I'm not quite sure, oh, here it is. I'm using our multi-purpose glue, and I'm just going to put a little dot right here, and I'm going to put a little dot right here, and I'm going to put a little dot down here, okay? And now I'm going to do the Take Your Pick tool, and I'm just going to simply pick up a snowflake. Isn't that easy? I'm going to set it on top of that, hold it down a little bit. I'm going to grab the next piece. I want the snowflake. I'm going to add that on here as well. Okay, I'm going to add one more. Look at how easy that is. Do you guys have the Take Your Pick tool yet? It's pretty awesome. Okay, so now that'll just dry, and I have recreated a project, and I have 2 of these cute pizza boxes ready to go for my neighbors and my family members. I can put little cards in there or little cookies. And remember, you can find that on page 12 of our holiday catalog. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. Don't forget to leave me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.